They think they don't need it. You might be doing really well right now. Maybe you got year over year growth better than you thought, but guess what? Your competition is prospecting your customers.
Yeah.
So if you don't think about leads as a lifeline, like oxygen, you might be missing out, or
Mm.
you will be missing out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Tiffany Alexander, and this is Unveiling Journeys. Welcome back if you're joining again. And if this is your first time here, oh my gosh, let me tell you a little bit about me. I love networking. I love high level masterminds. I love really intentional relationships with people. And whenever I get to hang out with you one on one, I like to ask the question, who do you know and how can I get to know them next? Or, by the way, who do you need to know? And I hope that I could introduce them to you. And that's actually how it led to like the next person, the next person, the next person, which is how I met my guest today. And he's got an incredible story. He has touted that to me and he's shared some bits that he's going to save for only us to hear right now that I have not heard yet. So with that, I'm so excited. Solomon, welcome to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about you and what you're up to right now.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Thanks for having me. First of all, super excited to be here. Hope to drop a lot of value. So I am originally from Chicago and basically a Midwestern boy, entrepreneur. Started my business literally day after I graduated college, and this is what I wanted to do. I knew that I wasn't going to be a good cut as an employee. I would draw outside the line, and I'll be doing things I'm not supposed to do. So I figured, you know what, entrepreneurship is my baby, and so I started to launch into being basically a self-taught web developer. We're talking like a little while ago, Tiffany. I'm not going to date myself, but at the time there was no AI building websites. It was all done by you. And so, yeah, I built some websites, and that was my break into building a business. I started to build websites for entrepreneurs that didn't have websites. And today that doesn't sound like a reality, but that was the case. And little by little, entered into this digital marketing lead generation space that I am in today.
Oh my goodness. So this space that you operate in, lead generation, that's incredible. That's what every business owner needs is leads. Tell me a smidge more about that and what you're up to.
Yes, so where I left off a minute ago is that web dev business. We thought we're a creative shop, so we're like very proud of our design, and we had amazing designers, and our customers would tell us, like, I would call them up and it's like, hey Bob, do you like your website? It's like, yeah, it's great, thank you so much, but I didn't get any business off of it. I didn't make any money. I'm like, what do you mean? I mean, it's just such a gorgeous website. How could you possibly not make more money? He's like, didn't do anything. Nobody called me. I was like, got it. Like, that's the thing you were looking for. I didn't know, because you're in one thing and the customers think another. So we went back to our drawing boards and said, guys, we're not in the creative business anymore. We're not here to build pretty stuff. Our customers don't care. They could be really ugly and effective. They will be happy. Okay. And so it had to upset some design folks, because that's what happens, right? And then our lead gen business was born, and we never look at design as our end all. We look at results and getting phone calls, so to say, for business owners, or leads or form submissions, live chats, whatever you want to call it. That's the end all. And so believe it or not, that was our first pivot in our business. It's just like, hey, it's not this, it's this. And that sort of took us on where we are today. So we call ourselves primarily a lead gen business, more so than anything else, because as you said, every business needs it. They think they don't need it. You might be doing really well right now. Maybe you got year over year growth better than you thought, but guess what? Your competition is prospecting your customers.
Yeah.
So if you don't think about leads as a lifeline, like oxygen, you might be missing out, or you will be missing out.
Absolutely. I love even how you said that. Oh, you're looking at year over year growth. Someone recently told me, well, think of what inflation is. If you're not having at least seven, whatever inflation is, percent
Right.
year over year growth, you're actually not even growing.
Yeah,
You're just matching inflation at the rate of which our money is declining.
that's true.
So, oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Wait, so let's do this all the way from the beginning. You're from Chicago and what did you even want to be when you grew up?
Didn't know much about entrepreneurship, believe it or not. I kind of felt like you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer and engineer, because that's my background. My parents are Indian, right? Like we grew up in that kind of a thing, which, hey, it's cool. I mean, I love my doctor too, but it wasn't for me. I knew I wasn't gonna enjoy it. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
I just was not the kid that would enjoy it. So we had a family business that my uncle ran. That was my like, oh, okay, this is how it works. I learned the basics of customer service and things like that. But believe it or not, just my personal passion of wanting to help people was more than anything else I can handle. I was like, okay, look, I need to find an outlet to get my creative juices out, or else I'm going to be really stuck with a job description that I don't really enjoy. Because today, I think employees get the freedom to do things like work in your unique abilities, but that's not the case typically in organizations, right? Organizations kind of like, hey, you do this, you're customer service. I don't really care. You love sales. Good luck with that. We're not hiring in sales. Like that was me. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to learn everything. I don't know, just it was like nuts, right? So to this day, right? This if you're an entrepreneur, like you're probably the biggest thing that drives you is your curiosity. You want to know and solve problems. And so I knew there was a lot of problems in marketing because when you look at businesses, even to this day, their truck is one color and their business card is another color, and their website doesn't even look like it's like, what is going on? And so I'm like, oh, this is an easy one. I can fix that. That's how I started the website business. Like, oh my gosh, like these people have no idea that their color is yellow and pink or whatever it is.
Yeah,
And
like
so
a
it was an
fluid
easy
brand.
thing. Yeah, it was an easy thing for me to get into. But today we're Facebook ads, Google ads, LinkedIn ads, building funnels, AI, email prospecting, everything that we touch is AI because we just had to go with the flow. That makes sense. Like I wouldn't be here if we were not doing everything with AI, right? Like that's where it's headed. And so we had to retool ourselves just like we did from website to lead gen. We're now lead gen to AI powered services,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So you get straight out of high school. Did you go to college
College.
for anything?
I did undergrad. I did masters as well, but undergrad is where I decided that afterwards, like I want to do business. Like literally, my parents, as you can imagine, Asian parents, we put high priority on school. Thank
Mhm.
God I'm not like that. I don't even want to send my kids to college. Like I'm
I
like
feel the
it's
same.
useless. But that was a piece of paper that meant a lot to an immigrant parent. So they're like, listen, kid, you can't do anything until you get this certificate. So I didn't even go to my graduation, Tiffany, believe it or not. They just mailed it to me. I didn't care. That was not my thing. I had good grades though. It wasn't terrible. However, it's just I was like, this means nothing because it doesn't matter. I knew early on that getting a college degree wouldn't guarantee any kind of success. I had friends that had like great degrees and no jobs. I'm like, this sucks. So if you want
What?
pure
Yeah.
success, sorry, I
I
know.
agree 100%. Like there were some kids that were doing some wildly entrepreneurial stuff in college. And I thought, how did you make that much money while you're still in your second semester? We just met,
I
just to
know.
think that those were seeds that were planted in me in college, knowing like, no, they had a skill and it was a technology skill. Like, oh, I built the software that now the university uses because theirs was like old and outdated and they need just someone to do it. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
their students were software engineers. They just like whipped up a program for them and he sold it for 30 grand. And I was like, that's like 2 semesters of
I
tuition at a
know.
private university.
I had friends that had to trade stocks during the semester to pay for their school, and they did just fine, which I think is high risk and scary as hell.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they did it. You learn, right? So I wasn't selling websites while I was in college. I did some freelancing, but my college wasn't necessarily like the biggest pressing thing for me to figure out. It was more of what I wanted to do after
Yeah.
because I worked full time during school years just to kind of support myself. So I didn't really have any time after college. But long story short, it was afterwards I was like, okay, I want to do this thing. If I did, and by the way, Tiffany, to anybody that's listening, the earlier you start, the better off you are. I have friends that going into business now, but I'm like, it's like, thank God I learned all of those things when I was like 21 years old because there's no bad time to go to business, by the way. But the more years you can have under your belt, the more
Yeah.
confident you'll become, right? So that
Yeah.
commitment, making that commitment and acting on it is how you get to the confidence. You'll never have the confidence to start, but you got to make the commitment. And so
Yeah. And
here's
hiring somebody to help you avoid the potholes that you now might hit in your older years of doing this. So it's like follow someone that's been there, done that. So that way they can tell you where to avoid those
that's
highs
true.
and lows and get
One
through faster.
100%. If you can have some mentors, some coaches under your belt that genuinely care about you, that didn't just want to sell you a program. Does that make sense? I
Yeah,
had great
100%.
coaches, by the way. I didn't even discover that I need to have coaches until I started to work with like other people in my space. I'm like, the guy's like, dude, I'm crushing it. I got like 25 clients. I'm like, what? Like, I don't have that many clients. I don't understand how you got 25 clients. He's like, I got this executive coach. I'm like, could you give me his information? I'm like, I thought that was the secret. I realized that I needed a lot of coaching. It wasn't just that one guy,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
did hire him. I
Oh,
learned
yeah.
like there is a secret. But yeah, we can go into that, Tiffany. I
Yeah,
got a
for
lot to
real.
talk
So,
about.
all right, we're out of college. You didn't even go to your
Yes,
graduation.
did
What
not.
happened next? Tell me this.
I cared more about launching this business than I cared about anything else, believe it or not. I got my parents to believe that, hey, listen, this is what I'm gonna do. Just leave me alone. Just like I had the most supportive parents you could ever imagine. They never asked me to do anything like go get a job or do this or that. I knew I was gonna let them down. So we just worked really, really hard building relationships and start launching whatever websites that we can find. And you want to hear something funny? It was 2006. We started just getting off the ground. 2008 happens. It's like, how do you survive? By 2008, I have an office space, I have employees, and I'm not even like 25 years old. And I'm like, there's a what? What's a recession? I don't know what that is. So we grinded it out, Tiffany. We grinded it out. I was hustling so hard. Like I wish I did that now. Like I would be it's like I've gotten lazy over the years. You know what I mean? Like
I
it's
mean,
like
AI kinda does
crazy.
that too, but it's
Yeah.
incredible all the while. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, gotta grind it out more.
Mhm.
And so yeah, it was amazing. We've never slowed down in the midst of a complete stall, like economy comes to
Well, I mean, if
stall.
you were generating leads for people, I feel like that really never ends. People needed them more than ever now. So if anything, you
Agreed.
probably had to continue to work hard to make
Yeah,
that happen for people because you were the fulfillment of that for them.
I somehow I was in a bubble. I
Yeah.
didn't feel it. None of my employees had to be let go. I didn't miss any of that. And I think that got me so much confidence in making it through downturns like never before. Like I don't ever worry about that anymore. It's like I'm like, don't worry about it. Like why? Because I made it through 2008 without knowing anything. Like I can find my way around. I know how to get confidence in the midst of chaos. So like you just look at your own abilities, right? What did you do then? Okay, you do that. Do that all over again. I mean, you hear entrepreneurs saying, if I lose everything today, I know what I'm going to do to get it back, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so true. Because when you've done it, you know yourself. It's just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me some of those stories that you're like, "Oh, I can't wait to tell you this part of my journey when you were in your business."
I mean, like I said, I most entrepreneurs don't believe this, but for like the first 10 years, I just never took a day off, never took a break. I mean, I did like went to conferences and stuff like that to learn. Like that was my only learning. I never took a course, by the way. People take Canva course and now they're a digital marketer. I'm like zero. I went to 4 or 5 conferences a year. It's the same conference, all search marketing. West, East, wherever it is in the Midwest. Spent 3 hours just like pouring into all these speakers that was there. Studied everything, go back, implement it. By then, there's like the next conference. I was like, great, I did everything they taught me last time. What can I do this time? And so I just did that and grew a company. My brother's my first hire. He was working for Coke. Great job, unbelievable benefits. I made him quit and say, let's go join a startup, man. Let's go do this together. Believe it or not, and it paid off because like I said, entrepreneurship is the thing. That's the one vehicle has proven over time, like just follow your dreams, just hustle really hard. Are you working more than a full-time job, Tiffany? Hell yeah, you are. You'll never be able to do just 4 hours and then make millions of dollars. It doesn't work. Like you got to put in the hours, but most entrepreneurs don't mind putting in the hours, right? Like they're not really work, they're not really in it for the not working part. They're in it because they know they can make an impact. And so we just crushed it. Like true story. We had multiple offices for a small business. Like that didn't like happen. Teams all over the place. Like hired abroad when I didn't even know. I built a software. I know, Tiffany, like it's insane. Like we had bit of cash coming in and we realized that as a service company, our biggest bottleneck onboarding and offboarding and managing customers become like the biggest pain in the butt because you're a fulfillment company, like you said. So we
Yeah.
have to get clients onboarded fast, and we need to make sure that everybody's thing is getting done on time. And guess what? We were doing so much manual work. This was way before AI, by the way, like so many years ago. I was like, we need a tool that can talk to all of these APIs, Google Analytics, Google Search Console, the call tracking company, the lead company, whatever it is. We want to put it all in one place to save my account manager's time, or else we're just going to be doomed. We're just going to keep hiring. If you keep hiring, what happens to your expenses? It just keeps going up. More clients, more hiring. You're kind of the same place. So I'm
Yeah.
like, if you want to make it more scalable, we got to go from a service company to more of a tech-enabled service company. Let the tech do the heavy lifting. So we did that, like, I don't know, year 3 with the zero funding from outside. No seed funding, no Series A, no friends and family. Like I said, you just got a vision, gonna go for it, and stuff will happen. Did I have the greatest time with all the dev engineers team I hired? No. I don't think anybody should ever go in and sign up with some company in India or wherever you find them and think this is gonna be just a hit it out of the park. It didn't work. Did my second company work out? Negative. By the third time, I'm like, I know what I want. I'm just gonna go hire my own people. I didn't hire companies anymore. I hired them, and those people are with me to this day.
Really? Yeah. So the third iteration of your company, what's like some of your favorite things that you do for your customers?
Right now, I'm drinking AI.
I'm obsessed too. I can't get enough of it. And my algorithm knows it. It's like, hey, do you want a free course in AI? And I'm like, I give everyone my email because I give everybody a chance, but I just need to never get behind because it's surpassed
Right.
so much more than I could ever have imagined it already.
So for us, the reason I say that is I think marketing was the biggest thing that got disrupted, and it got disrupted fast. It got disrupted early. It wasn't like, the stockbroker got disrupted. It was us. It started to write copy faster than any blogger can ever do, right? It was like, all right, it's over
Decent
if you
too.
don't see it, right?
Yeah.
The writing's on the wall. But we didn't see it as a replacement. We saw it as an opportunity to do more, be more efficient. So the kind of things that we're doing are basically, how do I help my business, my clients 10x their business using AI? That's literally it. That's what AI lets you do. It will exponentially help you grow your business because you're not tied to human labor anymore. You're not tied to certain things. You can have 5 windows of chat GPT and have 5 prompts going at the same time. You could 5x the productivity, right? Technically, and imagine. So if that's the case, then you don't have any more limitations per se on labor or resources, pay per hour or whatever it is that you pay your people to do whatever it is. So we said, well, we got to scale this thing. So ChatGPT comes up with the API. That's the day that changed my life. I said, great. I no longer have to log into a window and type stuff. I could just program the prompt, send it to them. They send me back the result. Have our programs analyze it and do whatever it is with it. So let me give you an example of how we use that on a real life scenario.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
send tens and thousands of emails per day that is prospecting, that is customers getting approached by, like, my clients are hitting up their customers, right?
Hmm.
Like prospecting, stuff that people hate to do. They don't want to pick up the phone and cold call.
Yeah.
That's just a pain in the butt. So we
Yeah.
do AI email prospecting. So what we do is we go to the LinkedIn machine and we download Tiffany's profile and we just look through it and we look at all the things that she says about herself. We summarize that thing using AI saying, hey, Tiffany, so amazing that you moved from this industry to the real estate investment. What a journey you had. It is true. And it's written in my voice and my tone, or my client's voice and tone, really bringing in the things. Say, I'm curious, you know, entrepreneurs like you should be getting on podcasts. Are you looking for more ways to get your voice out there? Would you reply to that email? Probably, right? Like, it's like, looks like it did some research on you and you want to be a
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
leader, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's just an example of an email. Every single day, our team is sending emails out, which 100% is automated. Nobody's going into anybody's LinkedIn profile, by the way. AI does the whole entire thing, sends 100% unique emails, which lands into the people's inbox and they get a reply. And every time I get a reply, like, it's on my phone. It's like it shows up in the little top thing. It's like sales opportunity. Well, it's not for me, it's for my clients. I'm just really excited
Yeah.
that that's the world that we live in. And we have a dashboard that shows our team if our customers don't get leads for like 2 days in a row, it turns red.
Yeah, you gotta figure out what not
Why?
just like,
What
"Okay, I'm
happened?
getting it." Yeah,
Right.
we're A/B testing this, we're, like, canceling, nixing that. What do we say? How do we tweak it? Because
Exactly.
you can at a moment's notice whenever you've got something tracking it like that.
Isn't that crazy? So that's just one application of where we are today. Another application is customers back in the day. I would tell them like, "Hey, could you tell me how you solve your customer's problem? Could you tell me more? Could I talk to your salespeople?" And I would talk to the salespeople because we care so much about helping our clients. Like, so it's like, "Oh, could you tell me some of the words that they use to describe their pain?" They're like, "Oh, I don't know. They just need reams of paper." And imagine we're selling, for a paper company like The Office. We just sell reams of paper. They just want paper. Like, no, they might be saying something else. Is it delivery? Is it price? Is it value? Is it? They're like, no, they just need paper. They just need the cheapest price. I said, great, fantastic. How am I going to take that information, update your website? So we had like gibberish content that didn't really resonate because we don't know half the problems. We know bits and pieces. The CEO gave us some keywords. We put it in there, but that's not it today. That is 90% of websites out there is brochure website.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
What we do is we implement AI note taker. You probably know that. Every sales class is supposed to listen. We update the CRM system. And if they mention a competitor, that gets updated in the CRM system. If that call is a high risk call, the AI note taker system will tell the manager of that person that this guy had a 5 out of 10 call. Watch this recording. Only the ones that he bombed on. And so we get all this transcript, we analyze the keywords, and then we're stacking them with all the sales calls that they have, picking out the words that are exactly coming out of our customer's mouth to update the ads, update the landing pages, update the funnel, update the website, all happening real time with zero involvement from the marketing department.
This isn't marketing anymore. This
I
is
don't know
like
what it is.
lead
This is
gen
what AI.
to curation to sales to closing. This is like a one stop for someone that doesn't mind the AI needs to be involved in this kind of stuff.
I couldn't have done that before.
Yeah,
I would have to get call recordings or something if they
right.
even worked with you. Salespeople are, if it doesn't make them money, they're not going to do anything, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Like the last thing you want to hear is the marketing guy wants your call recording. He's going to
Yeah,
say why he wants to get me fired. Like they're just not interested. They don't
right.
care, right? It's hard enough to get your salesperson to update your CRM system, let alone do stuff like follow up or whatever else. Today, that's not the case.
Yeah.
They don't have to do anything. They don't have to lift a finger. Our team will manage the whole process. I have an insurance salesperson that was doing in-person calls. They don't ever did like Zoom and stuff. This guy goes to an office, turns on Zoom, even though he's in an in-person meeting because he understood the reason why he needs to record.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's like, hey, for note-taking purposes, I'm just going to turn on my Zoom. It's literally our IP working in the background because we
Mhm.
want to know what the customers are saying so we can update the cold email that's going into more prospects like the one he's sitting in front of.
100%. Yeah. It's
Isn't
like,
that
why not
crazy?
let AI analyze it to see where the temperature of the call went and maybe something that was said that you missed, right? Because you can still only take as many notes as you're going to take, especially if you're in person and you don't have a notepad in front of you. You're relying on your own brain at this point, which let's call it what it is. It is short on attention span with everyone in the world right now. So,
Absolutely. So if we can do that kind of stuff,
mhm.
like I can't sleep at night,
Yeah.
Tiffany.
That's fun. I was literally just talking to my business partner. I was like, "Man, I need to do this, 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 this." And I was like, "I think I just talked to somebody about it and I'll let you know who it is." I was like, "Oh my gosh. Look, we're on a podcast together for some of the
Yes,
stuff that we're doing." It's like we know this stuff exists and so it's just a matter of who's the right person that's going to be able to fit all those pieces together for what you
that
need.
is.
Now, some of these people that you work with, do they think, "Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that." And then eventually they're like, "Wait a minute. Okay, let me start with you. Now I want you to do more and more and more." So they're like kind of establishing trust with you.
Yeah, I mean, the prospects or the customers that we work with, they understand what it can do. Lead gen is not something you need to sell. If they either get it, they don't.
Yeah.
Lots of them don't because they don't understand. They think it's a customer success kind of a business. I'll organically grow with referrals coming into my pipeline. I have no issues with that. I think it's amazing. I teach a growth formula, which is acquisition plus retention equals growth.
Hmm.
You got to work on your acquisition game. You got to work on your retention game. You're going to grow, but you cannot just grow with retention. I
Yeah.
promise you, you cannot. You cannot grow with retention alone because my growth formula is not complete. If it's just retention equals growth, it's acquisition plus retention. So
Yeah.
if you want to acquire, you need systems in place to acquire. If you want to retain better, you need systems in place to retain. So we put both systems in place so they can acquire and do a better job retaining. And when you do both, you're going to grow. There's no doubt about it. So you don't want to lose customers. You also want to have a system to grab customers from your competitors or new people in the market or whatever it is. So, like, this is hopefully the gist of the podcast. They listen to this. If they understand that, now they got to figure out, how do I leverage AI to be my marketing slash retention, basically department leader? How do I leverage it? What tools do I need? And how do I need to empower my team so that they're using these tools so they can get a better result? They can get better bonuses and all of that stuff. That's what we really want.
Yeah.
And that's what we're building. That's what we're connecting. That's what we're deploying, because most companies don't understand just that very basic thing. They live off of Excel spreadsheet, or their CRM system has no AI capability,
Yeah.
or their email marketing is the entire list unsegmented with an
Hmm.
irrelevant message that is basically not even getting to the inbox.
Right.
That's not going to work.
Question though, does your system work for like small business owners all the way up to like really big ones? Like, do you have a sweet spot?
100%. The system could work for anybody. At the end of the day, it put in, I mean, everybody had to start small somewhere. So I never have any issues, Tiffany, talking about small entrepreneurs. I coach a lot of businesses, and I've coached businesses with no money. They're just working somewhere, want to launch a business. So I have no issues going there. I think this works when you have sales calls on the calendar, when you have figured out, you have some momentum. That's how you're going to get to the 10x, right? Like, you need to grind it out for the first 5, 10 clients,
My
but
gosh,
use
yeah.
that knowledge to get your 20 and 30 and 40. Where AI gets better is if you can stack the data, more and more examples to prove a point. It's just kind of like science. The
Yeah.
more you make a hypothesis, you have so much data about it. So you're like, hey, this is what customers want. So today what we do is we like help people narrow their niche better, build better offers. And when you have that, you take those sales calls, figure out what the messaging needs to be, and then refine your offer. I mean, I think companies can do that at much faster rate than ever before. So the
Yeah.
bigger you are, you should be moving faster, because you can. You have more calls, you have more leads, you have more activity in your CRM, you have more people coming to your website and leaving on certain pages. Take that information and say, why do you think they're leaving?
Uh-huh.
What do we need to do to this page so we can have 5 more people stay there?
Yeah.
That will pay you dividends.
Well, it sounds like you're crushing it. Why do you keep trying so hard to do all this?
I don't know. You don't go into entrepreneurship thinking that you're going to retire and never have to work again, I hope. I go into entrepreneur so I can fix more problems. Tiffany, I think if you and I don't fix people's problems, we're irrelevant, right? Somebody else will do it. I'm a kid in a candy store. I've always been. I think this has been a fun territory. Even before AI, I was having the greatest time of my life. But I just think that this is an opportunity for almost every single entrepreneur to rethink their business and say, well, what would business be like if I incorporated AI? And I know for sure what it's going to be like if you don't. I don't need to
Oh
say it.
yeah.
I know for
You've already
sure.
missed the boat. Like, just
Exactly. I
jump
know for
in.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, for real. I mean, there are cases where it's not a thing, but it should be a thing because all the data in your head could be put into a system somewhere, even if you're just like selling brownies to your neighbor. Like there is an application for AI to be able to assist you in anything whatsoever. I agree 100%. Okay, at this point, everybody's thinking, oh my gosh, I need to know more about your company. I want to spend some time with you so I can have that one on one to assess what it is that I need. Where do you want people to come find you?
Percent. So I've been on a lot of podcasts, Tiffany, and I've had that question asked me millions of times. I say, well, go to my personal website, and I would spell my last name, and I would just collapse because I'm like, no one's going to know my last name. No one's going to go there. So I talk a lot about 10x. So I bought me a domain name. The domain's called 10x.info. That's right, 10x.info. If you go there, there is a webinar. We're always updating this website. Free training, free resources for anybody that's looking to 10x. I really love that because I'm very passionate about exponential growth and not incremental growth. And there are ways to do that. And I know every entrepreneur would love to add another zero to their P&L and say, wow, what would my business be like if I added a zero everywhere? right? And so you need exponential growth. So I put a free resource and we'll always be updating. Go there, it has links to my social and everything so they can learn more about me.
I love it. That's awesome. And then of all places, we're B2B. So like let's hang out. You guys come friend us on LinkedIn. You don't have to worry about spelling his name. Friend me. Go through my list to find Solomon. This has been so fun because I love your energy and how much you care about all the people that you're solving intimately these problems for what it is with a little bit of a cookie cutter approach, but also specific to what they need because if we can tailor the advice in a millisecond, we don't have to worry about scrounging through all this data. So I love that we get so excited about all the things and the ways that we get to help people with the services that we've invented and whatnot. Um, let me hear this. What's on the horizon? What do you want to tell everybody? What's on next?
I've been trying to get on more podcasts like this. It's been such an important thing for me because I'm doing an AI workshop. There's a website we're putting together. It's called scalegrowth.com. Everybody's trying to figure out how to use AI to grow. I'm literally doing it for free, not charging people anything. Why? Because I just want business owners to know what is possible. The stuff that I just explained, I'm going to show it on those. So that's what's on the horizon, is to be of impact. I'm a huge impact driven entrepreneur. It's one thing to make money and excited and all that stuff, but you know what? What's really going to last, Tiffany, is the impact. And your podcast is an impact project. It's going to be here forever so that other people can be impacted. And hopefully you hear those transformations. And so I want to help as many entrepreneurs as possible. I'm just literally throwing all of the stuff that we're doing in our labs right here on this free training. And I'm going to do them so that people can listen, watch, learn, do it themselves, get it some support, hire a person. They want to work with us, great. But if they don't even know it's possible, I'm doing a disservice. Like, I'm just going to get it out there to as many people as possible. That's what's on the horizon, is how do I take what we know? And we think this is just basics. This is not even rocket science. Like, we're not launching anything into space. But if people don't even know this, I feel like they're going to miss out like
Yeah,
big time,
I love
because it's
that.
kind of like you're like stuck in first grade and everybody's already in third and then fourth and fifth. I'm like, I got to get people up to speed. I love teaching and coaching and all of that. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to get out there and spread. And I'm starting a podcast and all of this stuff about what we're doing, just the stuff we're doing.
I love that. I love it. I feel the same. I tell people, I'm like, you don't have to have rentals or flips anymore. Come talk to me about the other ways. And they're like, what? So,
Yes.
thank you so much for your time. I
My
love your
pleasure.
excitement. And I love how you're making waves and changing it and able to work down with anybody that's get started because, that's where it's quite honestly, America runs on like small
It
business
is
growing in and all the small businesses want to help people in the first place. So I appreciate your
100%.
work and your ability to say, I'm not going to retire. And let me just keep going. Let's go
Nah,
crush it.
not doing
I
it.
feel the same. I'm like, where would I retire at? What would I do? I would just simmer on all the things I knew I could help people and just feel compelled to go accomplish that.
Warren Buffett just retired. So me and you got a long ways to go.
We have a long ways to go. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Okay, cool. Thank you guys for making it for the whole show. I'm so excited to have you guys the next time around. And thank you again, Solomon, for coming and hanging out with us and
Pleasure,
telling
Tiffany.
us your incredible projects you're working on and you're going to keep making bigger and bigger. I will see you guys on the next show. And yeah, see you next time. Bye, everybody.